Japan's most feared warriors rose from chaos, not legend. When the imperial capital collapsed and two mighty clans waged war for control, the samurai emerged, armed with steel, ambition, and a ruthless code. Yet the battle that crowned their first shogun nearly doomed their own future. How did these fighters forge an entire nation's destiny? The ancient estates of Japan once echoed with the clash of ambition and steel. Powerful families, shielded by private armies, carved out their own domains as imperial authority faded. In this world, the Taira clan rose under Kiyomori, wielding influence in Kyoto and placing a child emperor on the throne. Their dominance stoked resentment among rival warriors, especially the Minamoto, whose leader Yoritomo rallied eastern clans from distant Kamakura. In 1180, open war erupted, samurai banners streaming across battlefields from Uji to the inland sea. The tale of the Heike, recited by monks and warriors alike, opened with the line, "The sound of the Gion Shoja bells echoes the impermanence of all things." 5 years of bloodshed followed. Yoshitsune, Yoritomo's brilliant half-brother, struck decisive blows at Ichinatani and Yashima, driving the Taira to their final stand at Dan-no Ura in 1185. There, the child emperor slipped beneath the waves, and the age of the samurai truly began. Minamoto no Yoritomo, now unrivaled, received the title of shogun in 1192. From his new seat in Kamakura, he built a government that answered not to the emperor, but to the sword. Appointing Shugo as provincial constables and Jito as the state stewards, Yoritomo's system bound the country's warriors to his rule and reshaped samurai life from scattered households into an organized class. Yet the true test of this new order arrived a century later, not from within, but across the sea. In 1274, Mongol ships filled Hakata Bay, their troops outnumbering the defenders 4-1. Samurai on horseback clashed with Mongol archers and bombs, fighting through chaos until a sudden storm battered the invaders' fleet. When Kublai Khan tried once more in 1281, a massive typhoon again smashed the armada, over 4,000 ships lost, as described in the Moko Shurai Ikotoba scrolls. Archaeologists have since found wrecks and weapons along the coast, proof that wind and samurai resistance, not miracles, saved Japan. The legend of the kamikaze would echo for centuries, but the cost of defense strained the shogunate, sowing seeds of unrest that would soon erupt at home. Ashikaga Takauji swept into Kyoto in 1336, breaking faith with the emperor and founding a new shogunate. The promise of order vanished as rival warlords fought for survival, plunging the country into a century of civil war. In this chaos, armies grew larger and deadlier. By the 1500s, Ashigaru foot soldiers carried new weapons because Portuguese traders had introduced the arquebus, and Oda Nobunaga saw its potential. At Nagashino in 1575, he lined up 3,000 gunners behind wooden barricades. Their volleys shattered the Takeda cavalry, forever changing the face of battle. Nobunaga's ruthless campaigns toppled old powers, but he fell to betrayal before unification was complete. His general, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, rose from peasant roots to seize control. Determined to prevent uprisings, Hideyoshi issued the Sword Hunt Edict in 1588, stripping weapons from the common people. Temples recorded thousands of confiscated blades, and villages hid swords in secret. With society now divided by law, samurai above and peasants below, the need for lasting peace grew ever more urgent. Tokugawa Ieyasu's victory at Sekigahara in 1600 brought an end to centuries of civil war. From his new capital in Edo, Ieyasu set out to secure peace, not through constant battle, but by reshaping the very role of the samurai. The shogunate required every daimyo to leave their families in Edo as hostages, and to travel there in elaborate processions every other year, a system known as Sankin Kotai. These journeys drained domain treasuries and tied the lords to the central government, while samurai retainers found themselves serving as bureaucrats, tax collectors, and judges instead of warriors. Official records show their stipends measured in koku, with 1 koku enough rice to feed a person for a year. Yet, as years passed, ledgers filled with debts and complaints. The brush often replaced the sword. In this era, samurai like Miyamoto Musashi wrote of strategy and self-mastery in the Book of Five Rings, while Yamamoto Tsunetomo's Hagakure spoke of loyalty and the acceptance of death. These texts gave rise to the ideal of Bushidō, but for most, daily life meant paperwork, not battle. The peace that Ieyasu built would last 2.5 centuries, but the cost was a growing tension between samurai ideals and economic reality. In 1868, the Meiji Restoration swept away the shogunate, and the real break with the samurai came through a series of edicts. In 1871, the government dissolved the old domains, ending samurai rule over land. By 1873, a conscription law drafted commoners into a new national army, stripping samurai of their exclusive right to bear arms. The final blow landed in 1876, when the Haitere Edict banned wearing swords in public. Samurai stipends, once paid in rice, were converted to government bonds, and many lost their livelihoods overnight. Saigo Takamori, once a hero of the Restoration, led thousands in the Satsuma Rebellion of 1877. His defeat and death at Shiroyama signaled the end of the samurai era, leaving behind both loss and legend. Kendo halls ring with the sound of bamboo swords, as over 1.5 million practitioners refine the same strikes once drilled by samurai. In quiet forges, Gasan swordsmiths shape steel using centuries-old rituals, their lineage protected by government and cultural designations. Nitobe Inazo's Bushidō, first published in 1900, sparked a debate over samurai ethics, fueling both scholarship and popular myth. From bustling tourism that brings in hundreds of billions of yen each year to UNESCO-backed preservation efforts, the spirit of the samurai endures in modern Japan's daily rhythm. Samurai. Ideals still shape Japanese society, from martial arts to business ethics. Their legacy endures, reminding us that honor and discipline matter long after swords are set aside. Share your thoughts below.